Welcome to the audience. It is January 20th. It's a Tuesday meeting, the City of New Carrollton Council Workshop. And that's the call to order, but I have three quick things that I want to share with you before we start the resident comments. One is that the deadline tonight, and this will make the staff happy, hopefully the audience, is 8:30, because two of us have commitments at hospitals and we have to get out here at 8. So at 8:30, so I'm going to try to stick to the numbers. 8:30, I'm going to call for adjournment. Thursday night, just so everyone.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Feedback. Anybody else hearing feedback? No? Is the feedback inside my head then? Because I'm hearing everything twice.
That's not good. You still hearing it twice?
Okay. Can we turn that one off and see if that's the problem?
She was, but she not.
All right, may I continue or no?
Hello? Okay. No. Really, there's no mic coming from the recording, from the Googles?
Andrew
Not
and
hearing
Jasmine.
any echo?
Nope.
No. Okay, so it's my equipment, people. Mr. Chair, 2 minutes?
Okay.
Probably because there's no sound.
Okay, what technical modifications here.
Brianna's not coming.
Okay.
She's at another meeting.
Hello, everybody? Say something.
Now, can you hear me?
Only once. That was good.
That's good?
Okay,
Okay.
I apologize.
Okay, so now I have something to add to my three items. I just found out that Brianna is excused tonight. She cannot, Councilmember Urbina will not be with us tonight. So I talked about finishing at 8:30, which we will do. And if you look at your agenda and look at the time allotments, we should be able to do that. Thursday night, well, tomorrow night's another council meeting, but Thursday night is 4 cities, and I like people to be aware of that. If you want to come, that's in College Park. I think I'm going to zoom in. And will somebody get us the agenda?
The agenda is, I sent a
You sent it to me?
invitation out to an event, and it's attached to that event. I
Okay,
don't think they're doing it hybrid.
they're not going to do hybrid? I have to
On
go to
her
College
agenda,
Park.
she sent me, it just said. in
Take a
person.
look.
It's at College Park.
It's a College Park, yeah. And the last thing is a little bit of an explanation related to all resident voting, that things happen quickly, public hearings, dates were set, and I went to a town hall on Saturday that was well attended, good turnout, and at that town hall, residents expressed to me that we're having public hearings without being informed. What's happening? And I said, well, that was a task to me and I didn't get it done in time. And the short answer is that we want to put the proposed changes into the next newsletter, which we have to get to Yvette by February 4th. And we will get those proposed changes. That way they'll go in the newsletter. And then maybe tomorrow night, Agnelli spoke to me about this. Maybe tomorrow night we'll try to pick dates for those public hearings because we would like to know ahead of time. We have to give 21 days notice. But the communication was not the best because you got constant contact and it said cancel. And it was never canceled. Meetings were postponed. This item is still alive and being worked on. We just had to postpone it. So I wish we had put postponed in constant contact, but that's just a matter of how it was communicated. I hope that's clear now. The item is still alive. The public hearings were postponed, not canceled. And it's because residents had concern that they were not informed about what was going to happen. So I didn't want to take that long to explain that, but I hope that's clear. And with that, I think we can go to residents' concerns. And please feel free to go to the podium and share with us. And you have 3 minutes.
Hi, Craig McLean, 5709 85th Avenue. Real quickly, we always hear concerns and complaints from this podium, and I would like to take the time to recognize and applaud Public Works for their very fine work down at Beckett Field clearing an amazing amount of invasive species from the banks of the stream there, and also the resurfacing and restriping of the basketball courts there, which an awful lot of young men use during the summer. So great job. I hope we're gonna get new strings for those hoops. Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
Great way to start. Thank you, Michelle.
I know, I'm slow. I'm old. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here as a public citizen and as a council member. I've had quite a few phone calls, so I am going to read this letter. I was hoping that Councilman Urbina would be here, but I'm just gonna read this, and I'm gonna ask my fellow council members to sign it, because if you don't sign it, it means you agree with the actions. Honorable Urbina, this letter constitutes a former censure by the City Council of New Carlton for your conduct during the December 1st, 2025 City Council meeting. At that meeting, your actions violated established standards of decorum and professionalism required of elected officials and materially undermined the integrity of the city and the council and public confidence of this proceedings. Your disagreement on a matter before the council escalated into conduct that exceedingly disordered behavior and included the following: use of vulgar and profane language in a public meeting, directing verbal attacks towards another city council member, making statements invoking race and allegedly improper inclusion of people of color, quote unquote, as you said, publicly referring to a resident as mentally ill during the meeting, repeatedly regarding direct instructions from Mayor Nemhart and Council Chairman Rosenberg to cease such conduct, and abandoning your duties as council member by leaving the meeting while continuing to use vulgar language and insults. The council also reviewed your remarks at the December 15th City Council meeting, which was presented as an apology. The council finds those remarks inadequate. The majority of your statement focused on justifying your behavior through personal experiences with minimal acknowledgement of wrongdoing. The council remains concerned that there is insufficient assurance that similar conduct will not recur in future meetings as we continue to discuss and legislate on topics that trigger such strong response. Based on the foregoing, the City Council formally censures you for unbecoming conduct and for failing to demonstrate genuine accountability. The censure serves as an official condemnation of your conduct and a reformation that vulgarity, personal attacks, defamatory statements, and disagreement for council authority have no place in the City of New Carlton public meetings. The council expects your future conduct to reflect the dignity of your office, the responsibilities entrusted to you by the residents of New Carlton, respectively, the City of New Carlton City Council. I just had to do this because I've been trying to sit back and just be calm, but during the holidays, I was approached. People kept saying, did she ever apologize? And I just want to know, like she says, we don't care about the people. I care about the people in New Carlton. You all know I care about you all. And I could not stay a councilman without making a comment about her apologies and actions that happened. Thank you.
Miss Cynthia, give me the letter so I can sign it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm waiting for anyone else to go to the podium, but I want you to be aware that we didn't hold any council meetings to do this. This was done independently.
So Chair, while you're waiting, I just wanted to say that, on Tuesday, January 13th, an email came directly from your email, and it's in bold letters. It says, please cancel the 2 public hearings for January 31st on February 2nd. So any miscommunication that went out to the public was a directive from you. So if you had wanted to say postpone, you should have made it clear. And that's one of the reasons why I asked that when you send emails to the staff, that you copy me on the email so that way we're all in sync as to what is going
Yeah,
on.
I'm part of the miscommunication, I will admit that. But the point is, we all knew that we were never gonna take this item off the agenda. So I messed up. So I'll take the blame for using the wrong word. But
Okay.
this item is postponed, it's not canceled, okay? Anybody else want to go to the podium? Then we'll move on to council announcements. And I'll start with Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You already mentioned the Four Cities meeting upcoming this Thursday in College Park at 7 p.m. So I'll just reiterate that, but I just want to add that there is a snow event scheduled for this particular weekend, Saturday, I think into Sunday. The temperatures are going to be very, very cold. As I understand, it'll be in the 20s. Oh, it starts Friday. Okay, pardon. Friday into Saturday. And possibly maybe into Sunday.
Saturday and the Sunday and Monday. They
We checked
changed it.
today,
Oh,
it
it did
says
change to
Friday.
Saturday.
It
No,
said
it's-
Friday today.
No, tonight I looked at it.
Oh,
It's 6
tonight,
p.m.
okay.
Saturday.
Okay, so I was right the
Into
first
Sunday,
time.
into
Thank you, Madam Mayor. But, yeah, so just please be very, very careful this weekend. Please check on your neighbors. If you know of anyone who's elderly and might need some extra assistance, please watch out for them. It's going to be a very tough weekend and we'll all get through it together. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all I have.
Agnelli, you have any announcements to share with the community?
Just personal announcement. I'm on day 35 at the hospital after falling on ice, and my stay at the National Rehabilitation Hospital is probably gonna be long. I will do my best to hold my duties as council person to the best of my abilities. I'm off work indefinitely.
Okay, Cynthia?
I just want to piggyback on the last thing. How many inches was it before you allowed to put your car on the grass?
Okay, so it's 4 inches or more.
4 inches or more?
What was the question?
How many inches of snow do we have before we're allowed to park on the grass? And please make sure your car is not blocking so the snow plows cannot get in. That's something we always have that problem every year. So just make sure, and make sure your neighbors park on their grass, not your grass.
The mayor also has to declare an emergency before that.
Wow, okay.
We'll have to put it out in the website. Social media.
Okay, and I'll share my two usual. The Scouts meet on Tuesday night tonight. I had to miss my meeting. We meet in the Elks Lodge in Riverdale Park. So if anyone's interested in scouting, it's a good youth program. It's active. They do a lot of camping. They do a lot of activities. They're going skiing in February at Canine Mountain in West Virginia. Long drive with great ski conditions. And that snow will probably help. And the other thing is that I'm still involved with the IRS Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. And I can help with tax returns at no charge if they're under the earned income tax credit limit, which is $69,000 this year. So feel free to call City Hall if you need to get information on that, or you can call me. My number is in the newsletter. And that would be those two. And then Maisha, I'll go over to you on the city newsletter discussion.
So you all have a copy of the black and white that we were asked to produce. Like it. If we went to a black and white, we would really have to change. Yeah,
Resolution.
we'd have to change how we did pictures and all of that. I already met with the mayor and asked her how she liked it. She agreed. She doesn't like it. But I did get, pricing from even the new company that you sent me, Mr. Rosenberg. And so our current contract that we negotiated last year with the, vendor is still the best price. Even they even give us better pricing, using our postage. Cause they got back to me last night on their pricing. House of Print.
Okay.
The black and white would save us money, but
Anybody have any comments on that?
How much money would you save?
It was less than $1,000. And we do it 6 times a year.
Right.
My question was, how come we don't have the pictures of the Christmas topics, that one?
I think they're in there.
The picture?
Not the houses, but
The
the winner.
awardees, the awardees
I-
are.
The awardees are in there.
I want to see the house.
Yes, the people that got their awards that night are in there.
Yeah.
Was it on Instagram?
Cause I thought the fire
I don't know if the
prevention,
houses were on there. I'd have to look for it.
I thought the fire prevention tips were really good.
Okay, Lincoln, you have any, observations about this?
I heard that we would save $1,000. Is that over the whole year, Maisha?
She answered that. She said it would be the 6 times, so it would be $6,000.
$6,000. Wow, that's.
$1,000 a time, she said, and we do it 6 times. a
Oh,
year.
it's $1,000 an issue, you would say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wasn't
Yeah,
clear on that. That's
okay.
a significant
Yes,
difference. So I would
yes.
definitely vote in favor of moving forward with
I'm
this.
sorry, I'm missing a number. What's the total for the production of the color?
It was one exact number. Hold on, let me,
Well, we're saving 1,000. I want to know what's the bigger number of the.
oh, times 6. Hold on. Mhm.
David, is there a copy in here?
No.
Okay.
If you would like a copy, I have them.
Here.
They're back here. Mr. John,
Sorry.
they're right there. Sorry to interrupt. It's $1,045. That was for this one, because we did 16 pages to 16 pages. Of course, if we do more pages, it's more money. If it's less pages, so it all depends.
I'm
But that
sorry,
was
I'm still not getting the picture.
1,045.
At 1,045 is how much it costs?
Savings
1,045.
is the savings.
And how much does it cost?
So the color print of this newsletter was $3,520 plus postage.
Okay,
To do it in black and white would have been $2,475.
so that's about 27% savings. That number is significant. I mean, that 1,000 sound not so much in the big scheme of things, but 1,045 out of 3,325, if I'm following the math, or I'm not.
Yes, you're following that.
Okay. And so was there an interest in reducing the printing expenses for the newsletter? And so that would come out to 1,045 times 6,
Mhm.
a little over 6,000. Okay.
Now, way to also reduce would be us to make a smaller newsletter. Less information going out.
This time we added more pages, so.
Can you tell me what the additional fee is to fold it? Because they can send it like a magazine without folding it. They tell me it's a lot less expensive. But we pay our current contractor to fold it and tape it and pay an extra fee for that. Do you have the fee for that?
No, I do not have. the
Okay.
fee for that.
Because that, we could do that without, even we could leave it color and do that and save that because I get magazines in the mail and they're fine. They don't need to be folded. But anyway, Cynthia, I was going to give you a chance before I have a couple comments.
No, I was just stating that the fire prevention tips are really, really good. We should put that out in like October.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Fire prevention tips,
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
October instead of January. That's October was when they burn the leaves and things get dry and everything else. It's really good, but we need to tell them long before winter sets in. This is best for you. I thought that was really well done, but just a little thing.
But then the rest of the issues are year long. That's why we put them out at the beginning of the year.
And we're probably gonna do more, because I know like even last year, we had a fire in April, because I was at an event and got the call that there was a, so, I mean, we're having fires throughout the year.
And my comments in the newsletter, I've always favored black and white, but every time it's come up historically, there's been a huge outcry that tradition says keep it in color and let's not change it. I was really pleased to hear Lincoln think along those lines, and Agnelli think about saving money. But it's already budgeted, so it's really up to the administration. We can't change that, but the new budget's coming up. If you want to look at that line item and see that it's $6,000 lower, if we go black and white, we, the council, can ask about that. But I,
One question.
But I
Yeah,
will also check with them on the flat.
Have we ever considered having advertising that could help us subsidize
So
a
we
bigger newsletter or the cost of the newsletter?
used to.
I
Mhm.
think we did do that.
We used to do that.
And
We can go back to see if, people are interested in advertising. Cause I think what happened was that started dwindling off. I can tell you. But we can go back, cause I do know we had talked to a couple vendors that would actually do the newsletter and work on advertising for us. So that's one of the people we have a conversation scheduled to meet with.
I think one of those were at the MML.
They were, yes.
I remember hearing that, a little bit of that presentation of like not costing us anything. So we're gonna be talking to them?
Yes.
Okay. Mayor?
No, I was just saying that in the past, when we have the advertisement in the newsletter, they pretty much pay the same costs for the page. So whatever the page was, that's a cost that we gave to them for the advertisement. So it wouldn't be a savings for the newsletter. It would just be additional page
Okay.
Because if we
at the
go
same
to,
cost.
because if we go to advertising too, that's more pages that we're having to print.
Makes sense.
Sounds like a wash.
Mhm.
But one of my concerns over the years has been how many of these newsletters get to homes, they just get dumped in the trash. So, and we can't do anything to control that, I understand, but black and white is cheaper trash than color trash. And I think we still put piles in the apartments, do we not?
Because we can't get into all the doors.
Right,
Mhm.
so those piles at the end of the week get thrown in the recycle bin, I think, and not many people pick them up, and black and white's cheaper trash. All right, well, thank you for the update on that. We'll move on, trying to stick to the timetable here. The administrative duties versus council duties, that's something you're discussing, Maisha?
No, that would.
No, the mayor's for that, okay.
So I just wanted to, put out to the council that we do, support the collaboration of the council, with decision-making, with city operations, but it is getting a little bit confusing when we have like the council members going to the vendors and asking questions or giving directives. So it caused a little bit of confusion between the operations of the administration and the duties of the council members. So I was just asking for a second time if we could make sure that we refrain from doing certain things because it is causing a little bit of problem. Like, for instance, we have council members that are calling the vendors and giving instructions and or directives. Then they have to call back to the administration to ask, what are we supposed to do? And this is like the fourth instances since the beginning of this year. So I'm just asking nicely that with the administration in place, that if there is an issue, we have always been open. If you ask for something, we give it to you. But going to the vendors directly, it is undermining the work of the administration. So I'm just gonna ask kindly to cease and desist. It is causing a big, major problem. And we can't get to do the work that we're supposed to do because the council member is pretty much doing the work for us. So while we applaud the help, when needed, we will ask.
Are you referring to me?
I didn't call any name, I said council members.
Okay.
Okay. The person or persons, they know who they are, and I don't want to be calling names and making it personal. And I will reach out to them individually because it is becoming a problem. And I think it is only fair that the council know what their roles and responsibilities are. The mayor knows what her roles and responsibility are, along with the administration. And I've asked nicely, if you guys would like to give instruction to the employees, it's fine. Just copy the mayor on it. I know, Mayor, Chair, you have started, but I've seen where it has dwindled away. And I can't answer for things that I don't know about. So if we're gonna work together moving forward, let's do it in a more amicable, straightforward way. And that's all I'm asking. If you guys ask for something, I'm gonna make sure it is given to you guys. And at the same time, I'm just asking that you guys just respect the duties of the administrator and administration, and we will respect the duties of the council member moving forward. That's all I ask.
Any questions, comments?
Clear?
This is clear as mud to me. You're saying a lot of things. I don't know what you're referring to. You're referring to something I did and you're going to tell me later in private, because we should be all working together. It should be the default that I communicate something to, like I did to Yvette about the flyer for the town hall, and I copy Maisha and I copy you. But if there's something that I or someone we're not doing, your statement, I'm sorry, it's clear as mud to me. If you think you're communicating something, I'm not hearing it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, to summarize, the administration has tasks to do and the council is legislative, and I've said it repeatedly. So we do not give staff instruction to do things. And I have sent emails to staff, and Mayor, I apologize if sometimes I haven't copied you, just, it's something I miss doing by mistake, because I like you to be involved in all of it. But I've had fairly good replies from the staff, and I've never told the staff to do things. I've said, I see this situation, I'm getting complaints, and I want you to be aware of it. And I think in that posture, we're safe in approaching the staff, but the mayor's asking to be copied every time. I think there's a couple times I contacted Linwood or Daryl because I thought it was small enough that it was just for them and I didn't involve the mayor, but I should. So if any of you have concerns from residents and you want to get the staff involved, because you can't give direction to the staff, get the mayor to give the direction to the staff and present the issue, okay? I'm not sure who's contacting vendors, but that's beside the point. But you just go to the mayor and the staff with concerns. Don't let it get overloaded. I'm sorry it wasn't clear to you, but the distinction of our role versus the administration role is pretty clear to me. Okay.
What I'm hearing concerns is how the communication flows. And I asked Kaylin to print the package for me today. That was a directive to Kaylin. Is that out of order? Is that the kind of direction or directive that I need to direct to you, Madam Mayor?
I'm not aware of what you did today, and I think you're taking it personal, and it's not even directed to be a personal comment. It is supposed to be right across the boundary unilaterally.
Okay, so even if this is not directed to me, I'm hearing a warning to the council to change our behavior. And I want to then be very clear on what is my line not to cross. Because as I said, this is not clear at all to me. So when I asked Kaylin today, which I've done in previous occasions, Kaylin, please print the package for me. I didn't think of copying Maisha or the mayor. Is that inappropriate? And should I, if I have a need like that, write to Kaylin and copy you? Is that the standard that you would like all council members to do?
So it is not a directive, it's a request. Just saying, there are some things, like for instance, that I might be working on, or we might have the answers for it. So all I'm saying, communications with the employees, it would be prudent that you just copy the mayor on it. I think that is as clear as it can get.
Sure, go ahead, Cynthia.
Okay, this is your first time of being on the council. Our rule is we do not give any assignments or request anything from the administration unless we go to the mayor. Because we are here to make laws, they're here to operate and run the city. So even if I want a copy, I'll come in and I'll stick my head in saying, hey, so-and-so's make me a copy of something. So we are not to impact or give work to anybody. You just can't, even a small thing. I always stick my head and say, I'm getting this Xerox, or I'm having them copy this for my meeting. So it's like administrative versus legislative. We're making the laws. If they have problems with the laws or rules, they come to us. They're running the show. If they're running the city, we'll come to them with our problems of how they run the city, but we go through the mayor. I always let her know what I'm doing because I don't want to come back. The same with the vendors. Even though they come here and they ha-ha and they laugh with us, and then when we ask them something, they run to the mayor. So anything we do, I CC her. Sometimes she gets sick of me because I say, hey, look, I went in Lowe's today and I made a comment about the people outside. Just want to let you know. So anything like that, that covers her and covers you.
Thank you for the clarification.
All right, I think we've had enough on that. Let's move on to the Samsara dormancy report. And as the council had a chance to read this, I've looked through it. I have a couple questions, but I like to go last. Did you get a chance to look at that, Agnelli, the Samsara dormancy report? No? Lincoln, did you get a chance to look at it?
I did, Mr. Chair. I have a couple comments and, well, questions and comments. I noticed that there's several vehicles that I guess are near their useful life, end of their useful life. And I'm a little bit concerned about that. But first, let me ask, when there is no odometer reading next to a particular vehicle, what does that mean?
So some of the vehicles don't, kick out odometer.
Like the
So it
backhoe?
all just depends on the vehicle it is, because some of these vehicles are so old that it's really not going to give us updated information from what Samsara explains to you.
Got it, okay. But to my point again, on that first page, I see that the police department has like two vehicles that are 2013 and 2015. The Department of Public Works has three that are, one is 2012, two are 2015. On the back page, DPW has 9 vehicles that are several years old. One is old as 2003. Is that still serviceable?
Yes,
And it's running okay?
yes.
It's gonna be replaced, Mark.
I'll just-
Yeah, we use what we got and, you know, we work on it,
Okay,
keep it going.
In survival mode.
Yes.
no problem. Just checking, okay. All right, and I think that's it, but yeah, I just noticed several that looked like they were getting near the end of their useful life. And I was just a little bit concerned, but if you say they're running well and you don't have any issues with them, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
But it's okay if you want to make a motion.
Well, we have to make sure it's in the budget.
Cynthia, you looked it over? Any
Yeah,
questions?
I looked at it. No, I kind of picked the people earlier about it.
Okay. And Maisha, I'm curious where the ones that were identified as total are on this list. Do we just take the total off of there or do we get rid of them? Remember that first report we got had, I think, 3 or 4 total vehicles, and the answer we got was that we're waiting for Legit to give us insurance
Yes,
coverage.
those, yes,
Oh.
those, yes, those.
So are they all purchased by Legit, and did they reimburse us for the premiums that we paid while they were not in service?
Yes, they went back to,
They reimbursed all the premiums while not in
they went
service,
back to the dates that.
the date of the
Yes.
accident,
I still
And-
have one that I'm settling for.
and, okay, and that's on this list?
That would not be on this list because that car never, because that car actually was in an accident before we even had Samsara. So it's not on this list.
Okay, and
But all the
for,
other ones have been removed.
for Public Works, that long list of trucks, I know what the Fs are, the Fords, the dump trucks, we should have 6 because we haven't gotten rid of all of them. How do I identify those 6 dump trucks? I got the backhoe, Dodge van, and then I have the F-250 is the M2 truck 10, a dump truck? Is the M2, the 3 M2s, are they dump trucks?
No.
Well, the dump truck should be on here.
Yeah, that's the F, the F series. The,
The F-250 is a small Ford pickup.
Yeah.
Is that a dump truck too?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get 2 of them. We're gonna meet tomorrow night if you wanna get back to me on that. I don't see the dump trucks on here. And I'd like to see what we're doing because there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
There's a 94, 96, 99, M2 on page 2,
There's 2 missing.
but they're very low mileage, so
Right.
I don't think they're the old ones from
The new one?
the 90s. And in regard to, the Lincoln's comment about these dating back to 2006, Agnelli and I got here in luxury tonight in my 1996 Mazda.
Oh, the M's are the garbage trucks.
The M's are the garbage trucks, so I don't see the dump trucks on here.
Right.
Okay, well, maybe we can revise the schedule to include the
There's 2 of them
dump
that
trucks
don't
and
make some
see
sense.
all of them.
Yeah. 2 of them, we haven't installed Samsara on yet. It's one of the F series. It should be 2 F-650, but it's 1. And then we have a Peterbilt that's not installed neither. So those are maybe the 2 that's missing, but I'll double check on that.
Yeah, well, if it's not installed, I would, I can't give the staff direction to do things, Mayor, but I think we should have Samsara on all of our vehicles. That was the goal.
Yeah.
It should be installed as soon as we get them because it's not only a way to track the use of the vehicle, but it's also a, vehicle maintenance program that Samsara provides for us at no charge. Unless when we need oil changes and when we can expect certain services to be done.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
I'm not in trouble following because I think I heard you say that the new trucks were not here, but I do see something that says 2026.
So, yeah, 2 trucks. We purchased 3. 1 is on here, but the other 2 are in the shop, getting modified. 1 is getting modified with a snow plow, and we're,
Okay,
checking
so
some wiring.
the report, just for my notes, does not include 2 of the new dump trucks.
Right,
There's one that's 2026.
that's on there, F-650 2026, that does have the same cell on there.
Okay.
and the old ones we have not unloaded yet, have we?
Yes, we put those on gov deals,
They're already gone?
yes.
Okay, all-
2 of them is gone, and the other one is legit taking care of the other one.
It's on this list?
The one with the fire.
Yes.
Chair.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Did legit take that and reimburse us, or are we still waiting?
For the one
The
that was on
fire
fire,
and dump
they're
truck.
sending us a check. I'd have to check with finance and see if the check has actually come in, but I've already received the letter. So we're
All
getting
right,
about
I think we've beaten this.
$15,000.
Anybody have any other questions on it? Does it raise any other concerns? No, we're okay? Samsara. And now this is the bulk of the meeting, the report of the mayor and department head. Madam Mayor,
All right, good
please have
evening.
at it.
I'll start off with, Maisha Williams with administration.
And Aisha is not gonna read her report. Your request of what you've asked for HR is included. Actually, we've added it to the administration report. For current vacancies, I do have 2 since this report was done, because this was done as of December 31st. Daryl Green is no longer with us. And then today we received notice from, someone on our accounting team. So I have asked Caitlin to add, because that's a position. So I know we had said in administration, if we got any vacancies, we were not filling those positions. But the accounting team, I can't go with just one person on the accounting team, because that would create an internal control issue. With just one person doing everything. So I have asked Caitlin to add that to the agenda for tomorrow, that we would discuss us backfilling that position. The RFP for the compensation organizational study is due on Friday. So depending on how many people apply, we will be sending all that information out. So we will have that at the February 4th.
We receive it.
We won't know till Friday. Because it's done through OpenGov, we can't see.
It's not actual mail.
Yes.
Never mind, there's like
Yes.
post stamp envelopes and
It's all through OpenGov.
Boy, am
And
I
so we
trying
can't
to
see anything until Friday.
I dated myself.
So February 4th, we should have all the bids in, for that report. And then we actually now are keeping a central document for all events. And that's included in this package for the year. Oh, and one thing that I've also asked Caitlin that, I'll have a draft of an ordinance tomorrow to add to the council. Us, we're getting a lot of requests because, example, someone's house caught on fire, so they're now coming in to do the work. Our current code does not allow for porta pots. And while they do construction. So I've drafted an ordinance for you all to look at to see, and if you all are okay with what's there so far, then I will actually then also pass it to Jason. It has not gone to Jason yet.
Never became an issue before.
I'm sorry,
We never had that issue.
I don't know. It became an issue for me last week. And when I talked with code, they said, yes, it had come up before. And so I said, okay, well, that sounds like a code change. It needs to be addressed. That's all I have.
Okay. Make notes of your questions, please, and when the mayor's staff is done, we will bombard them. Okay? Who's next, Madam Mayor?
Next, William Barclay from Public Works.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. In my report, one of the key highlights is the invasive species grant that we have received. We have been working on it. The grant is to identify the invasive species within 6 different areas within the city: Westfield, Beckettfield, Sports, City Hall, Fontainebleau, and Veterans. So that's 7. And to go around in those areas to remove any invasive species, including bamboo. The grant was for $250,000. Half of it was for the removal of invasive species. The other half is for tree planting in those areas to backfill what we're taking out of those areas. So that's one of our main highlights that we're working on right now. We're very proud of it, and I think we're doing a great job as well. If you get a chance through the day, on the side of City Hall here, look to the right there and back of the Vita Course. We cleaned everything out from the Vita Course back to, I think that's 88th place down there. So we've done an excellent job on that as well. We do also have 2 vacancies as well that is causing a hardship on our department. We had recently had 2 retirees, but I'm requesting that we fill 2 positions as well. So hopefully that comes up. That's all I have.
Okay, and we'll move down to the chief.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager, and community members. I'm gonna start with our call for service data for last month. We responded to approximately 773 calls for service. as one thing I want to note in the calls for service, what you see listed is how it comes out to my team from dispatch. For instance, you may see stolen auto. It may come out as a stolen auto, and once we investigate, it may be deemed that it was repossessed or was impounded for some reason. So just so you'll know that that's the way we get the call from what you're seeing here. For our parking for last month, there were 173 citations issued. The revenue for last year from January through December was $146,344.30. For automated speed enforcement data and the red light data, our police officers approved approximately, or our staff approved approximately 6,965 citations. I'm going to move over to animal control. I'm just going to highlight a few things that may be of interest. It was pretty busy. Citizen reported that a cat was left unattended on a balcony. So that owner was advised proper care and requirements and was issued a warning notice. We also had where the citizens reported roosters in a neighbor's property. That citizen was advised that fowl are not permitted within the city of New Carrollton, and they were given 15 days to remove the animal. Animals at large. There was a German Shepherd running at large due to previous warnings. A violation was issued for failure to confine that dog. While patrolling, our animal control officer observed a dog running large. The dog returned to his residence and was identified. The owner was identified, and the owner was issued a violation for failure to prevent the dog from running at large. I want to tell you the City of New Carrollton Police Department remains firmly committed to servicing our community with integrity, professionalism, and transparency. Our mission remains the same: to protect life and property, uphold the law fairly, and maintain the trust and retain the trust of our community that we serve. The public is our strongest. Public safety is strongest when residents and law enforcement work as true partners. I encourage residents to be engaged, be informed, report suspicious activity, share concerns with us, communicate with us as issues arise. At the same time, I want to assure you that the New Carrollton Police Department will continue to adapt responsibly, follow the law, and implement best practices that reflect both community values and professional standards. Together, we can navigate change, strengthen community relationships, and ensure that New Carrollton remains a safe and welcoming place for all people. Thank you for your continued cooperation, your confidence, and your commitment to our shared community. Thank you. That's my report.
All right, thank you, Chief. I just wanted to ask all our residents in the city of New Carrollton to continue to join with me in making sure that New Carrollton brings back its beautification. And I know recently I've been driving through the city and I've noticed a lot of people driving through the city. Most of them don't look like New Carrollton residents, and they're throwing multiple bags of trash in the middle of the street. I've honked their horn at some. I've drove some of them down, talking to them about not doing so, but it takes a village to keep this city clean. And I know a lot of people say New Carrollton is not as clean as it used to be, but the only way we can get it to where it needs to be is to do it together. And I know a lot of the residents, I know like Ms. Poole, they will call if there's an issue or something is out. I know with the winds coming towards the end of this week too, putting out the trash outside or the recycle bins unattended, they're going to spill. So if we could keep the trash and the recycle in the yard until the night before or the morning of the pickup, then that would help. That's one. And then two, I noticed, about the dogs. I've seen so many of the dogs running wild. Some of them are repeat offenders that we do know. And they're big dogs, but like, for instance, not the German Shepherd, the Huskies. People don't know that a Husky might be harmless. They're just looking at it as a big dog. So when I see them and I call it into animal control, I'll say, oh, it's the one with the yellow tag. We know exactly which house that one comes from. But I'm just saying that if we all work together, if I see them sometime and I know it's the neighbor closest to me, then I will go knock the door to let them know the Husky. But we all need to be neighborly to each other. So another issue we're having is people parking and blocking the driveway for people to be able to reverse out of their home or drive out of their homes. So if we do things that we would not want to be done to us, then that's not good, being a good neighbor. So please remember to park at least, is it 3 feet, Chief?
Yes,
From the driveway. Parking exactly at the turn of the driveway is not the way to do it. Or parking at the end of the street to a main intersection is not the way to do it, because people are not able to negotiate and maneuver carefully. We are having, our food distribution is resuming for the rest of this year on the 3rd Friday of every month, between 5 and 7. And it's for all that is invited. So tell your neighbor and tell your friend. And we are always open for information sharing. So please feel free to reach out to the administration if you have any concerns or things that you'd like to see done better, because we're here to serve you. And just reminding everyone about the Mayor's Advisory Council that is going to take place on January 26th, and it's about hearing from the residents as to what they would like to see with the budget. I just wanted to put it out there now that right now we're going to be dealing with needs and not wants, because I'm not prepared to raise taxes. I've already said that in the beginning. It's going to be a hard crunching of the budget this year with us not raising taxes, but giving the considerable amount of services. So it's either cutting services, cutting staffing, but the option is not to raise taxes. That's not an option. So while you're going to give us your nice intros, what you would like to see us prioritize in the budget, please remember our budget constraint at the same time. Thank you so very much and have a great rest of 2026.
A long way to go. Hope you're not signing off on us.
No, not yet.
Madam Mayor, could you just remind us of when budget input is due to you or due to whoever we're sending it to?
So we're going to do it at the Mayor's Advisory Council on the 26th. But prior to that, feel free, you can either send it to the clerk or you can email it to administration and Carlton MD.
Okay, that's all the reports.
Oh, April.
Council members, you wrote down your questions. Audience, please have your questions ready when you go to the podium. Michelle, you were out of order, but that's okay. I'm glad to see you here tonight. I will start with Agnelli. Do you have questions of the mayor and the department heads?
Yes, I love the calendar with all the activities that are coming down the pipe, because we got a lot going, and that's smart. We have fun. I'm gonna put all these into my phone. So next time I'm putting something, I'm going camping or I'm doing something, I'll see if there is something overlapping, which you had highlighted before. Council Chair, the City Council Town Hall for April needs to be rescheduled, so we don't compete with the sprinkling. We don't want to compete with each other. So that is something for us to look at, whether we move it forward or later, and this help us make that. Can you educate me on the color coding?
I think I didn't realize it was color coded until Caitlin now printed it. And I think because what I've done is shared it with all the department heads and people that I know work on the calendars. And that's why I was just like, oh, what all this stuff?
They don't need any.
I don't think so, but I will check.
Because I couldn't see consistency in some of the items. But it's fantastic. Healing, this would be also helpful, that Google Calendar. Believe me, I'm going looking at it more and more, along with my own personal calendar. So thanks for the color
Okay.
clarification. And this also, Mr. Chair, should help us in paying a date for the public hearings
Absolutely.
on all residents voting, sometime in March and April, and this is a perfect map of when to find a Saturday and a evening to do that. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just something, maybe pin it to the bulletin board, so residents that are, loitering around City Hall can see. And it could be dated, because we know this is being dated.
Okay.
And it could, regenerate, and somebody's having here on a Friday, on a Senior Friday, see what is being planned. Okay, just an idea. Okay. Mr. Barkley, last spring, there was, in terms of budget, there was the discussion of bulk pickups and how much it was costing. And we consider ways of cutting money, and we decided not to go that route. Part of the motivation for that was because there were repeat offenders on construction materials, and I wanted to circle back as that being managed. And we are now no longer dealing with repeat offenders, and our bulk pickup in terms of numbers seem to stay the same. Can you speak to that?
The numbers, let me say this, we have a bulk list, so we have residents that call in or they email in, and then we are confirming them. And then we go out and identify them, match them up with what's on the spreadsheet versus what's at your house. And so that's a good way we've been doing to identify what's out there and what's being picked up and what's been brought in from somewhere else. But we haven't been having those type of issues from individuals bringing anything in. But the talks of going towards one bulk pickup per month,
No,
or
I'm not
Yeah.
going, I wanted to get a sense of if that abuse
the
has been
abusers.
resolved. Not that I'm suggesting changing anything about bulk pickups, don't misinterpret.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just trying to, since I saw the chart and the numbers seem consistent, that was.
Yeah. Yeah. We try to keep
Abusers,
we try to keep a close eye on that. If you call in, we match your address up with who's being called in and what's being put out. So we try to keep
Okay,
that in line
thank
like
you.
that.
I'm glad we can continue providing the service of unlimited pickups. Well, about 50 per year, but per household, no limit. So. yeah,
And then we
that's
have
a great
about
service.
3 vans that go through the city on a Tuesday evening and pick up most of the metals.
Right.
So the washing machines and all those stuff, they grab those. So by the time
Our guys get there.
get there, there's not
Right.
what is on the list.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any more questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Lincoln, you have questions on?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I have several. I'll start with economic development. The Truist Grant for Building Career Pathways to Economic Mobility.
Mhm.
Has, well, first and foremost, has anything been done with that yet?
No, that's a grant she's actually applying for now.
Okay, so you haven't actually gotten those funds yet.
Nope.
Once we do receive the funds, will the workforce development be done in conjunction with Employ Prince George's?
It's actually gonna be a cohort program. It's gonna be an additional program that we're actually gonna just put out for New Carrollton residents.
So Employ Prince George's will not be involved with this at all? Okay. All right. Along the lines of economic development, again, any update on what might be going into the Shoppers Food Warehouse space yet?
I've heard rumors,
Giant.
Giant?
but I have not been able to confirm with the landlord.
They won't say.
They will not confirm with me if that's who signed, but
Gotcha.
I have heard that. For
Okay.
those that just heard what the mayor said.
Sounds like it's
but some of the residents that, well, I don't want to call who it is, but some staff members from Giant have said they have given the notice that they are moving. Unfortunately, they have a liquor license, which I didn't know, at the Giant in Glenridge, which is not transferable if they move to New Carlton. So that is maybe delaying, but until a contract is signed and certified, they are not going to, it's part of negotiations. The landlord will not. But we're just getting information under the table.
Got you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Madam Mayor and Maisha. The purchasing officer obviously is in place, and from what I read in the report, the purchasing manual is now complete.
We're finishing it.
Or it's like.
He's done his part. I'm now in my pile of stuff I'm reviewing.
Okay, so it's getting there. It's not quite.
It's getting there.
And once it is complete, it'll be shared across all departments.
Well, that actually has to come to council for approval.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's you, Maisha, or maybe the chief, but the burn grant and the state aid for police protection grants, I noticed that those are still pending in the report. Any update on when those might be coming through?
So we just did our finalization of finance submitting that last week. I believe that's what it was due last week. But that we don't ever hear, the state aid for police protection, we never hear about until going into the budget year. I don't know about the other one though.
No, I don't know about that one either. We can check with the governor's office on the timetable. That grant is a federal grant that filters down through the state of Maryland. We can check and see.
Yeah, I'd appreciate an update on that, chief. Thank you very much. Working my way through. The shop heating upgrades for Public Works were supposed to start today.
And they did.
Mr. Barclay, did they start today?
They
as
did.
scheduled?
Mhm.
Okay, because I'm concerned with all these cold temperatures.
Yeah.
You all need to be warm in there and safe.
They did.
When will they complete it? Did they say?
They didn't say, but today's the first day, so, you know.
Very good. 707 trees were documented through Violytics. That is awesome. We really are a tree city here in the city of New Carrollton, which I appreciate. The Violytics, is that done through the OpenGov or is that its own separate?
That's its own separate software. We have been tracking street paving, stumps, tree inventory, stop signs, things of that nature in Violytics.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's only for zone one, for Violytics tree inventory. He'll be rotating around each zone as yeah.
So the 707 trees was only for zone one?
Yes. Mhm.
So the information that is in Violytics, we will be importing into OpenGov.
That's what I like to hear. Thank you, Vaisha. Almost done. When it says TBD under trash tonnage and recycled tonnage, and the month has already passed, does that mean that the statistics weren't captured for that month?
No, they weren't.
Yes, it's an invoice and
Trash tonnage for August, we just didn't calculate that particular number. I don't know why, but I can go back and find out that, so I can fill that in.
If you could fill in the blanks where it says TBD, I'd appreciate it.
that was a late invoice.
Yeah, they sent a delayed invoice. We just got it in December. It was backdated, not backdated, it was from June or July. It was a rollover invoice from previous budget year.
Awesome. Thank you,
Yes, I
sir.
just approved it in the system and paid it. So for those months, you wouldn't have seen it would be to be determined because we never
Right.
got there.
Right.
We can now update it.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And last but not least, the premise checks, Chief, I noticed that we had 145. That seemed high. I don't have the numbers from the previous month. Is that an uptick from last month?
It's pretty relative. From what I've seen, it's always been probably around 150 or so.
Okay.
Maybe if we look back or get back with you on that, for sure. But premise checks are, as our officers are out throughout the community, and through our business community. They're actually calling out through dispatch to let them know that we're checking their perimeter.
Awesome. And the traffic stops were 88. Is that pretty much par for the course as well?
It appears to be, and I can check into that as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, staff, and Madam Mayor. I have no further questions.
Cynthia? No questions? I have too many, but I want to keep on schedule here. The comment about the driveway, here again, it's like the 72-hour rule. For 19 years, we had a police chief who said, you can go ahead and park in front of your own driveway because we can read your tag. We know you live there. So go ahead and do it. So this 3 feet thing is a change to what Chief Rice told us at the Police Foundation for 19 years. And I don't know what the code says. It probably says the 3 feet. But now we're going to confuse people. We're going to give them tickets when they've been told for 19 years, if it's your driveway, you can block it. And I think that's a better policy. I don't know what the code says. About the, we can check the code, but I'd like the residents to be informed in the newsletter. We're changing policy here. You no longer can park in front of your driveway if that's what we're doing.
It's not a change in policy. It has always been on the books.
And Chief Rice has
And
always said we don't
Chief
enforce
Rice,
that.
Chief Rice respectfully is no longer here. We do have a new sheriff in town that has to enforce what is on the books.
And we have
keep
people who
going
have been told,
backwards.
we've had people who've been told for 19 years something, and now we're changing it on them, what they've been told we would do. I think it's only fair to communicate with them that guess what? Chief Rice didn't comply with the laws. We're going to start complying. We need to let them know instead of just slapping tickets on them or give them warnings. Now, I have a question about the noise complaints because I see 19 and I see 3 for gunshots, and I know more calls were made from my neighbors on fireworks, and I don't see fireworks on the list. If fireworks go in the noise complaint, and why aren't we keeping track of those? Because there were a lot more than 19 calls on fireworks on Christmas Eve. They were going till 2 in the morning. People told me they called repeatedly.
Yeah, I can check and see how we're categorizing these.
Now, the 72-hour rule, I'm glad to see the number of tickets has gone down, but I just heard you say, and I made a note here, you said we're gonna apply the law fairly. Now, in Long Branch, there's a car that's been there for 7 months and the tags expire this month. And I know people who got tickets for 72 hours should be in there for 4 days. That's not fair. There was a car on 85th that was there for 9 months. And I brought it to the attention. I think I copied the mayor. I know I copied Maisha. And Major Butler responded, well, that person has left the car there for 6, 8 months, but they're a 34-year resident, so we're looking the other way. That's not fair when people are getting tickets for 4 days. So I'd like us to be fair if we're going to be fair. And I don't think any of these, I don't know. But, and I'm concerned also with the 6 inches from the curb, because if the street is wide, as Agnelli will tell you on her street on Topton, it's so wide that it makes no difference. But if it's legation, it does. So again, what's fair? And I know, Madam Mayor, things are on the book, but what's fair? Is it fair to give somebody a ticket on Topton for being 12 inches away? I don't think so. But it's a matter of applying these things so that they're fair and reasonable to the residents. Now, let me see. I better stop. Don't want to get out of here at 8:30. There's a thing on here about vehicles displaying expired license tags, and it appears on here twice. Expired license tags, most of what, 21, and vehicles displaying expired license tags, 30. Okay, is there a difference? And you can get back to me on that too, but it's about the 8th line down and about the 15th line down. Displaying expired tags, 2 places.
Yeah, let me get back with you.
Okay. And then I just want to remind Maisha and you, Chief, that I don't place any reliance on this parking revenue because, well, for one thing, the tickets are in even dollars and this is in pennies, so it doesn't make sense. I mean, why do you give somebody an $85 ticket and you get $11,901.31? But anyway, this record keeping is not in the general ledger, and Maisha has agreed to that. There's no account that says, here's where the parking tickets go. And we're talking about doing that in the next budget cycle. But without that, this is police record keeping, which is not audited by the CPA firm, which is independent of the general ledger. And the general ledger is the double entry set of books that gets audited. So this data is not reliable. And I don't think it's fair to mislead the council with something that can't be supported. Okay? And Maisha, when we have it in the general, we have municipal infractions, it's $5,000. Chief's telling me it's 146. So, and you agree that it goes into other accounts, but we don't know where. So to throw a $146,000 number at us without any accountability, especially with these pennies, it's just confusing, confuses the whole issue. So I don't think this number should be relied upon, especially when we talk in terms of the budget of what it costs for parking officers. They're not bringing in this kind of revenue. And I don't even know if this is the dollars brought in or the fines assessed, because there's a huge difference. We don't collect them all. I'm going to stop. Okay, I think that's enough. And if the audience has other questions, they can raise them. That's the mayor and department. Oh, there is one other thing, Maisha, I'll bring it up. Just, I got an email you were copying on. I think I copied the mayor, but it went to Daryl and to you because a resident on Rycroft said there's a business across the street, and she called me again this week and she said and I called the chief. She said, I can't get out of my driveway. They parked the truck in front of my driveway. And Daryl wrote a long email to me, and I think you saw it, and he said, we can't do anything about it because the resident didn't take pictures. The resident didn't provide us evidence. And this disturbs me because why do we hire code if they expect the residents to do the assessing and submit the evidence? Why can't code go out there and move those things? But anyway, that resident is still concerned, still can't get out of her driveway. I called the chief yesterday because he gave me his number and it was a holiday. So I didn't expect to get him. But this resident, and she doesn't want, and I understand this, and I wish we would all appreciate this. She doesn't want to call and say, this neighbor is a bad neighbor, because that creates tension. That's why we have staff to go in there and do the bad stuff. And they don't want to do it on this house that has a tow truck company out of the house there, blocking people in their driveways. And I don't think it's fair to tell the resident, well, you gather evidence. You take them to court. What do we have a staff for?
I talked to her yesterday.
Okay.
She must have called you. She must have
called-
called
yeah,
me
she
and she
called
called
me.
me.
And the chief did go there yesterday.
Okay.
And I
The
talked to
chief
Major
did,
yesterday.
I did, the police did, everybody did.
Okay.
And it was a holiday. I'm just saying,
Okay.
we do respond.
Okay.
What I think you're misunderstanding, and it's no disrespect, is if the infraction is not observed by the officer, you're saying upon either your request or the resident request, the officers can just go out there and write a ticket. They have to see it for themselves. That's all they're saying. I don't think they meant they need to take a picture, because I've taken picture and sent in, they still can't write a violation on my picture. They have to go out and see it for themselves. So Radcroft is under control. They went out, they got their first car was ticketed. The chief went out yesterday, he observed, and so Radcroft is being taken care of.
Thank you. I did not call her back because it's frustrating as a council member, knowing that it's not my job to do what the staff is supposed to do. And if I call her, I have to say, look, you're talking to a legislator. I can't come out and ticket you. Call the mayor. I'm glad she did call you. And when she told me yesterday, when she called my house, she said, I can't get out of my driveway. And I'd ask you again to read Daryl's email, because I think what Daryl said in that email, and we could pull it up and look at it, is he said, she didn't provide evidence, so we're not going to act on it. And that was putting it back on her, which I think is unfair. And yes, you have to see the evidence of things being wrong, but at the same time, I don't think it should be, the residents should be told to start doing code's job for them. That's a sticky situation over there.
I know both code, parking, and the police have been going to Radcroft around the
Okay.
clock. And most of the time that they go there, the vehicles are not there at the time,
Okay.
but they did get one, and then yesterday chief observed another one, so
Okay.
it's being taken care of.
I
All right.
actually talked to her yesterday.
All right, the budget versus actual report. I will, we have a very brief time frame on this. Lincoln?
You said brief time frames. I'm going to be very quick. Thank you, Mr. Chair. On page 8 of 15, item number 50320, consulting services. Looks like it wasn't budgeted for, but we amended it to 125,000. What was that?
Is that for the bridge?
Was that for the bridge?
It was budgeted.
Oh, was budget?
The consulting services is budgeted for 145.
It's been amended. Okay, I thought that was.
That's the amended budget and nothing's
What
been
page are
spent
you- I'm
yet.
sorry.
We're talking page 8 of 15.
So that just means that nothing has been spent from.
Nothing has been spent on
Okay.
that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I'm good.
Okay,
I want to be respectful of the time frame here.
okay.
On page 10 of 15, the recycling contract. 205.
So that's the budgeted amount. And so we still have 192,000 because when we went into this budget, we were still, we had the budget, recycling contract that we had budgeted for.
Gotcha.
And then during this summer, we bought recycling in-house.
Awesome. So there's plenty of money left over in that particular line item. And I think I'm good with, well, the cable TV equipment on page 13 of 15. $300,000 budgeted. We still have 144 left.
You said what page?
Page 13
Oh,
of 15.
Okay.
It's the second one from the top on my copy.
Yeah, I see it.
Did you just over budget for that particular line item? Because it's still quite a bit of
No,
money.
PEG is one of those things that you cannot spend that money except for that.
Communications.
That's the money that comes on the cable bills.
Thank you, Maisha. Mr. Chair, to be respectful of the time, I am done.
Okay. Cynthia? Yeah, I knew that would be fast. Agnelli? Any questions on the budget versus actual?
Can we, I like to say my comments on this when we get to the resolution.
That's fine.
2606, because they're related.
That's fine. And Maisha, just putting my bean counter hat on, I don't think the algorithm is correct here. If you look at the revenues, where you have 0 revenues budgeted on the third line, page 1. And then you get, or you have 0, third line, let's say, the actual is 0, and the amended budget is 20. Oh, so that works, okay, all right. And there's 103,000 there. County shared taxes, the actual is 0. All right,
You good now?
yeah, I think we got that.
Okay.
Okay, those numbers were clear to me. And then just wanted to point out to the council, and Lincoln didn't point this out, but page 3, for example, where you see overtime for the services, there's a negative amount there in the expenses. That means we're already over budget. And we are through December, and we have 6 more months. So anything you see, there's negatives on. But this gives us a flavor, a sense of where we are.
We're working on a budget amendment. We're trying to finish the audit.
Okay.
So you should have a budget amendment in February.
Okay, resolution 2606. This is a resolution that was the third, I think, of the resolutions we did for a hiring freeze and a pay freeze as we look in to get a compensation study. I will, 2606, there's a copy of it in here. Agnelli, I see it in there. Do you want to introduce this one and you start with your comments, okay?
Sure. It's, they're all related. There was the first resolution with the budget and hiring freeze based on the information and the initial analysis on the salaries offered to new department heads. Then there was the second resolution authorizing for hiring a consultant to do the audit on compensation, compensation analysis and organizational structure. And the third one is this resolution that kind of got on the side, although it was written back in November. And it's just what we said from the beginning. Individuals in the positions of department heads of the Department of Public Works and the position of city manager were hired with salaries higher than the amount budgeted and approved by the council. And what this resolution says is that the administration would be prohibited from moving monies from other line items where savings might have been created and used those savings to cover the wages that were not authorized by the city council. And so that's what specifically calls out 2 line items in the budget. The position for administrative officer salary in administration. So if you go to the budget reports, it's at page 1 out of 15. The numbers change a little bit. So I wonder, Mr. Chair, that the numbers, the budget line item I have in the resolution is based on the budget of approved from last year, while these reports that we're getting have a different number. I don't know if that's material or immaterial.
Well, I see the number has not changed for the department head of Public Works, 4,200 on page 3. And for the administrative
For
officer,
administration, I see 4,200 for department head. Am I seeing? Are the numbers changed because of Up and Gov?
I don't think.
Oh, the account numbers?
Yes.
Account numbers did change because of open.
Oh, I thought you meant the numbers.
I thought, that's why I was like, the numbers haven't changed?
The
Okay,
numbers
yes,
haven't changed.
the GL account
So
numbers.
in here on the resolution, I'm referring to budget line item 01-15, 10-45, 200.
Yes,
It
the
really
object
then
accounts did change.
Correlates to now
Okay.
a line item here
40200.
that's identified as 4,200.
Mhm.
Okay, so I wonder whether we need to
We can
add
have,
those
excuse me,
new numbers of Up and Gov to this resolution.
I think that's a good idea, and we're gonna vote on this tomorrow night, so we can
Okay.
have,
And so, for
Caitlin.
example, on the position of city manager, the budget was 172,644. And for the first 6 months, they have paid out 87,000. And so there's less than half of what was budgeted in the bank for the next 6 months. But the salary that the city manager is being paid, it's higher than 172. And for the life of me, I don't remember the number. I think it's 180 something, but I don't remember it, the number. So they're gonna run out of money from that budget line item to pay the city manager. A more direct, clear example of this is on page 3 for the department head of Public Works. The budget line item approved by the city council for that position was $130,349. And in the first 6 months, they have paid out $76,752. So there's only $54,000 left for the next 6 months on these positions in this budget. And we have heard from Maisha and the mayor that in years past, a budget resolution, budget amendment is done to match things and make things even. Savings from here paid for over expenses in other areas. But in this case, this council, and I particularly feel very strongly that hiring individuals with salaries over the amount approved by the council was inappropriate. And so that's what this resolution is, to not allow for that robbing from Peter to pay Paul kind of approach from previous years. That's what this resolution is. all
okay,
about.
and the last time we discussed this, in the interest of time, we were unanimous, and Brown is not here, so any other comments, Lincoln or Cynthia? And keep in mind that you're right, this is 6 months, we're in the 7th month, and before this gets resolved, we have reports, or at least progress reports, from consultants who are going to do a compensation study, and then we have the opportunity to decide if a budget amendment is appropriate for a different amount. So, but right now, what this resolution that I believe you drafted, is saying is let's stick with the budget. And if we don't agree on this, what we're saying is our budget authority really doesn't exist. So I think we need to stick with this, and we were unanimous the last time, and we'll work this out in the next couple of months. But it's on the agenda for tomorrow night for vote. If Lincoln and Cynthia have no comments.
Miss Cynthia referred earlier to our role as legislative versus
I did too.
administration. And so this is where we can own our hats, kind of like your hat. Our hats as legislators
I like that, Cynthia.
in controlling the money of the city. And so
That's what I do
this
with my
will
hat,
prevent
that
that.
is.
Okay.
Okay, lost my agenda here. The review of the bills. I don't have any questions on the bills. Lincoln usually does. Anything, Lincoln? It didn't
No
jump out at you?
questions on the bills today, Mr.
You
Chair. Thank
okay with the bills, Agnelli, or you haven't? Okay. And the December minutes, I'll make a note that it was in December that we took a vote. And the vote needed to be a supermajority because it was an emergency budget amendment.
Was November.
It was November? It wasn't in December minutes?
You want me to raise the issue?
No, I
here
think we'll
tomorrow?
put it on the agenda for tomorrow night,
Okay.
that we can put an addendum. I think that would be the way to correct that. Let's talk about that tomorrow night. We have a little more time. An addendum, like we did when a meeting violated the Open Meetings Act that was held by email. So we'll just make a note of that, okay? Let's see what else I have here. December minutes. And now we still have time for people to come to the podium, and thank you for being here and bearing with us. And I have 8:29, you have 1 minute. I will stay late, and Agnelli and I will wait for you. Please go to
It's
this.
3 minutes.
This is the very
One
quick,
person
I
has 1
promise.
minute.
Oh, only
So,
three people.
and I'll just say what the topics are and then I'll sit down and you all can
No, it
address.
takes you 3 minutes. guys.
So, no, I don't need 3. So Chief, I know that there has been quite a bit of conversation on those stop sign cameras, but I would like to hear an update of where we actually are. And then for code, I don't know who I'm talking to right now, Maisha. So the last time the street sweeper came through, if there isn't any, and I know that we send out constant contact, but it's not getting it done. But there were so many cars on the street, it was a waste of time. So I'm still asking how we're going to rectify clearing the streets so that the street sweeper can be effective. Thank you.
That was only 30 seconds.
See?
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, I said 30. And that's funny, she actually said, oh, Cynthia Pulsweet, you have it up? They're gonna, oh, y'all don't answer the questions tonight?
Yeah, let me say about street sweeping. We have been putting signs out and it has been effective in a lot of different areas, but some people are still, they're not deciding to move their vehicles. So, I'm thinking about just taking it zone by zone and then going back out there and just trying to knock door to door, trying to get the people to understand that next week is the week for the street sweeper to come through. Maybe,
Something has to work, because
So this-
otherwise it's a waste of time.
So this newsletter that just went out in January is the first time it's actually being put in the newsletter. So, and this actually has the dates for the entire year.
Mhm.
So what also happened in the end of December with the street sweeping, it was kind of off because we had a holiday. So I'm hoping that, because it went from a 5-day street sweeping to a 4-day street sweeping. So I don't know if that had something to do with it, but again, in October was the first time we actually started ever advertising this whole street sweeping program. This January was the first time it went into the newsletter, which really, as I tell people, yeah, we have constant contact, we have social media, but we have 1,800 people in constant contact compared to how many people live in the city. So the newsletter is our big communication that hits every household. Now, hopefully everyone's not throwing it in trash, but I'm hoping, so February street sweeping, hopefully, because it was in the newsletter, that was a bigger reach on top of the signs, the little core frame signs that get put in the city. I'm hoping February will be our first real, yes.
Real quick, stop sign enforcement cameras. We finished our pilot program, as you know. last meeting, we announced the number of violators within a 2-week period. Or you heard that part, right? So now we're at the stage now where we prepared the letter for the county council. So now we're looking at the locations we're gonna send, because the cameras will be moved from time to time. So it's gonna be approximately 100 locations that we're looking to place cameras throughout our city.
So when will there be a defining decision on
Oh.
where it's gonna start, when it's activated?
We'll let you know, once it goes before county council, we'll let you know when it passes,
Okay.
because we haven't seen opposition from our other cities.
All right, so 33, Cynthia Paul Sweet.
Okay, so, funny that Marilyn talked about street sweeping, because I was actually going to suggest, until we get a program defined of how we're going to manage it, my suggestion is we cut the costs and stop it. Because right now, it's going down the middle of the street and it's just wasting money because cars aren't moving off the street. And I understand you say it's not everywhere, but I know in Long Branch and Adrian and Carrollton Parkway, it's just not doing any good. So I'm not saying do away with it completely. I'm just saying it just cost savings. We should stop it until
We have a
we've got,
contract with
With the
them.
contract.
oh, okay, well, never mind. Well, maybe when that contract is over, but anyway, okay. So let me go next to the newsletter and maybe suggesting that we publish again trash pickup, because you know how many trash cans I saw on the street today with trash in the street? And today's not a pickup for Tuesday trash, because yesterday was a holiday. But there are plenty of trash cans still
Some
on
of
the
them
street.
don't. No.
Hmm.
I said some of them, like on my street, we had like 3 new residents.
Yeah,
And I had to go and let them know that
yeah,
today is not a
yeah.
trash pickup.
But by the time I saw it today around 1 o'clock, there was trash already in the streets from people who had put it out expecting trash cans to come. And then, Mr. Barclay, I told you already about the recycling. If they find something that's in the trash that's not recycling, it would probably be helpful if they just put it on top of the trash can. Friday, I watched the guy throw it in my neighbor's yard. Had I not been there to see that, I wouldn't have known it was over there. So I actually recorded a video so you could see how far I had to walk to go pick it up. But, and you know, not that it was an inconvenience, but it was like, I mean, just put it on top of the trash can if if it's not recyclable. So, okay, thank you.
Still in the 8:30 range. I'm gonna go, you can go sit down. Someone else can go if they want to, but I'm gonna comment on that because it did happen at my house too. So I put the wrong thing in there and they just tossed it in the middle of my yard. And believe me, these guys, I respect them and they have a hard job, Mr. Barclay. I know they do, and I want to support them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the answer is, but just throw anything in the yard. If it's trash, I mean, you want to tell them to put it in the trash can, which would be the logical thing to do, but they throw it in the yard.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't look good. And then I got a citation here where the code came by and gave me a citation for having litter in my yard.
Recently?
Or I've had litter in my yard almost every day since I've lived there, but now they started citing that. So, anyway, Michelle.
Quickly, I'm just nosy. The constant contact, how did you get the 1,800? How do you get the information?
People have to
Voluntary sign
People
up.
have to sign up for it.
Okay, and how does they know to sign up for it? Is it
So
in the
when you go,
newsletter?
so when you go to our
Website.
website, it asks you if you want to sign up. Whenever we have events, we do signups.
I see.
And so,
Just, yeah, we're trying to get the information out there.
Mhm.
So in other words, tell our friends. We should
yes,
tell-
please,
Yes, okay.
yes.
And this question comes from my neighbor and friend Carolyn. The 72-hour rule, how was that determined? Hear me out for the whole thing. How was that determined? How is it monitored? And what's to stop someone from parking like half of that, moving and then coming back
That's fine.
and parking again? Yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's
That's fine.
acceptable?
That's very acceptable.
Okay, but how is it monitored and who is that? How did we get to 72 hours in the first place? Who's
That's
that?
well, I'll answer that. That's in the code.
Oh, is
Okay?
it?
And my discussion earlier is that the code was interpreted by the former police chief, and the mayor says it's no longer here and he isn't, that we don't enforce that. That's not necessary. We don't enforce it unless somebody complains.
Okay.
And it worked for 19 years, and now we're changing that.
Okay,
And it's somewhat confusing. Yeah, you can move it. And Agnelli's been talking about working on the code, and maybe that's something we need to address. I don't know if that 72-hour rule benefits us all that much.
Did I capture that right, Carolyn? or-
I think so, but I was just wondering, how do you determine the 72 hours? You know,
They mark the
because
street.
maybe I might have my car parked there for, let's say, 48 hours. And then I might go to the grocery store, I might go to the doctor,
Okay.
whatever the case might be. And then I can come back to the same spot, because on my street, we are very, cordial with each other. Everybody parks in this spot. This is how we do it. Maybe if someone have a party or something, we know
No.
we have people outside. So if they come to park, we know they're going to be there for just a short period of time.
Yeah.
But usually our neighbors are very nice to one another. Everybody has their spot. We know we don't park in anybody's spot, and we're. good
Okay,
on our street.
I'm losing order of this meeting. I didn't get you to go to the podium, but that 72-hour rule, we've kind of beaten to death tonight. And the one thing that I pointed out to the chief, and hopefully he's thinking about it, we'll get back to, is that it is not being dealt with fairly. There's a car, and chief, there's still the car on Long Branch. It's been there for 7 months. That was flooded in July, and it's still sitting there. And I jogged there. I still haven't seen a sticker or a ticket. It should be towed. 7 months.
That's the one we had understanding, Mayor, that was moved by
Yes,
Gooding.
we spoke
She saw it
with
2 weeks
Officer Gooden, and that car,
returned.
it has been moved and returned.
Has been moved. It's from
Mhm.
Cynthia Cole Sweet Street. Did they move that car that was in the
The
flood?
one that was in the
Yeah,
flood.
Long Branch.
Yeah, it was towed
Yeah.
and came back. Mhm.
Moved and returned when? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Within the time of the flood.
Yes,
Our-
it was,
our-
it
our
was towed
understanding,
during
It's been
the
there
time of
since the
the
flood.
Yes, I lived
And
in
our
it.
officer tells us that she witnessed it towed.
Okay, if you go by and look at the car, you can still see the mud from the
From the
flood
Thank you.
and the leaves and stuff under it from the flood. Yeah, that car. is
That
not
only
moved.
makes the 72-hour more unfair if some resident come along and say, well, I towed it, so it's okay now. And they tow it and then it's back there for another 3 months. I mean, the 72-hour rule's got serious
Even if
problems.
they moved it since the flood, since you mentioned it, it's still been there for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it hasn't moved in.
And the
last
tag
2 weeks.
expires in 10 days. So let's see if we deal with that too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay, go
I
ahead. You want to go
apologize.
second
I
time?
forgot one thing and I'll quickly say it. This is another code question for Long Branch. There are these work pickup trucks that pile garbage bags on top of garbage bag on top of garbage bag of stuff until that truck is absolutely full, and then they take it, dump it, start all over again. This has been going on for years.
It's two
And I
of them.
keep bringing this up, and I've not heard, and maybe you've discussed it, but I've just not heard some resolution. We asked whether this was part of code. One moment we hear that these trucks are legal and can be there, but I'm not understanding that because they're like dump trucks, so to speak. Thank you. Just looking for some answers.
And
We'll get
sometimes
back
it's
to
in
you on
there.
that one, but I will say I
You've
jumped by
seen
that
that
truck on a chief.
Yeah.
If you wanna send your parking people over there, it's never within 6 inches of the curb. So that's another rule we're not applying fairly, but that guy never parks close to the curb. All right,
So
I'm
I need to
Yeah.
take the podium, but I'll do it from here.
okay.
I'm having a hard time trying to ascertain what is it that the council really needs in terms of enforcement. And I've asked before, because you guys have the legislative powers, if there's something that you guys don't like and you want to change this legislation, you have that right to change the legislation. And I'm just gonna say, until the legislation is changed, they can be enforced. What I'm hearing tonight is what is fair and what is not fair. Who determines what is fair and what is not fair? Because what is happening is, at one time we hear the 72-hour rule shouldn't be enforced or never used to be enforced. But the same people that are saying that are the ones calling the administration in order to get somebody else who has the 72-hour parking. So who determines who gets cited and who don't get cited? And when they get cited and when they don't get cited? It is getting a little bit confusing. So in here, we put on a show not to enforce certain things. But then when the emails come in, we're getting directives, oh, I want this car to be ticketed and I want it to be towed. How is that fair? And how
We're gonna-
do we-
We're gonna move for adjournment here, just, I'll tell you, there's a big.
I'm not
difference.
finished. I didn't even finish my 3 minutes. I
Okay,
need to get my
finish your
3
thing.
minutes. I need to, and you don't cut me off because this matter might affect you. You have actually called into us, asking for a card to be this or to be that. And it's okay when you do it. When the laws are being enforced, it is not okay. So my thing, it is confusing to the staff. How are they able to do their job without being criticized and chastised? We have to have a rule and we have to stick by the rule. And you're free to adjourn.
Okay, and I only call in when I get complaints from residents. And there's a big difference between 4 days and 6 months. And that is definitely not fair. Who do I have that'll make a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Okay, all in favor?
Uh,
Aye, good evening, everyone.